If you were the richest person in the world, what would you purchase? Although many entertain themselves with the idea, only Jeff Bezos could actually play the scenario out in real life. Today, we'll be looking at some of the most expensive things owned by the world's richest man. Not subscribed? Then subscribe us and click the bell icon to receive new notification when we upload a new video. Jeff Bezos. As the founder of Amazon, the world's most successful online market, Jeff Bezos holds a net worth of $113.5 billion, putting him at number one even after his costly divorce with Mackenzie Bezos. Although Jeff is known as a relative penny pincher, he does own a plethora of extremely pricey things, from companies to luxury items. Go on the site to purchase household objects, gifts, tools, and anything else imaginable. Bezos continues to invest and develop within the site, boosting the value every year. Given how successful Amazon is today, it's hard to believe that it started off as a dingy online bookstore out of Jeff Bezos' garage. A rather strange object that Jeff Bezos has dedicated $42 million to is the construction of a very unique clock. Other than its absolutely astonishing price, this clock is unique because it is designed to keep time for 10,000 years. Jeff Bezos invested in this in order to have the means to embody the abstract longevity of time itself. The clock will be extremely simple in design, modest in materials, and easy to maintain. Although the clock hasn't yet been finished, Bezos expects it to be one of the most unique wonders for dozens of future generations to enjoy. Blue Origin. Like fellow billionaire Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos found a passion for the potential of space travel. Thus, he started the aerospace company Blue Origin, dedicated to exploring the possibilities of commercial travel to space. The company is certainly one of the more pricey things owned by Jeff Bezos, as he is selling more than $1 billion of Amazon stock per year in order to fund it. Since its creation, Blue Origin has developed technologies to aid in space travel and ran dozens of test launches to varying degrees of success. Bezos remains hopeful that the company will be able to start flying customers into space in the coming years. Seattle Lake House. Although Jeff Bezos may drive a beat-up Honda Accord, he doesn't save his money when it comes to real estate. One of his most popular homes is this Seattle mansion, located less than a mile from one of Bill Gates's favorite houses. Allegedly, this lakefront beauty cost him about $10 million at the time of purchase. Due to the city Medina's relative peace and quiet, this home is also where Bezos and his family lived prior to the divorce. The waterfront was an amazing secluded location for the family to enjoy without worrying about publicity. Although Bezos split up with his wife, this home still remains an extremely valuable asset. The largest house in DC, $23 million. One house for a man like Jeff Bezos is of course nowhere near enough. To spice things up, he purchased the largest house in Washington, D.C. at a whopping $23 million. The gigantic mansion used to be a textile museum and features a bold, extravagant exterior perfect for a man of Bezos' stature. After the purchase, Bezos spent an additional $12 million to make the biggest residence in DC even bigger. He plans to have 25 bathrooms, 11 bedrooms, 3 kitchens, and 1 giant ballroom in order to host the best party there ever was. Bezos sincerely wants his DC home to be the center of social extravagance, and it looks like his wish is granted. The Washington Post. The Washington Post is an ancient newspaper dating back to 1877, adapting and transforming to fit the modern era. Nowadays, the Post is primarily a popular online news source featuring reliable information and a touch of tradition. Jeff Bezos purchased the company for a whopping sum of $250 million a few years ago, making it one of his most expensive possessions. Although he wasn't interested in the newspaper business at first, Donald Graham convinced Bezos that the Post could use someone with total mastery of the internet in this day and age. Under Bezos, the newspaper continues to thrive and grow. Gulfstream private jet. Although a private jet may sound like a luxury, it's almost a necessity when you're on the level of Jeff Bezos. After all, being the richest and arguably one of the most important people in the world does mean that you must be able to travel at a moment's notice. Plus, when you're as famous as Bezos, flying first class just won't cut it. Instead, Bezos bought one of the world's best private jets for $65 million without a second thought. Not only is the Gulfstream G650 one of the fastest in the world, but it's also all decked out to resemble a Michelin-starred restaurant more than a plane. One thing's for sure, Bezos is always landing in style. Whole Foods. Strangely, Bezos also invested in the supermarket business, purchasing Whole Foods for a whopping $13.7 billion. Although it seemed like a very silly acquisition to many, Bezos had his reasons. For one, the grocery market could use some innovation in the 21st century. Secondly, it's interestingly reported that most Whole Foods shoppers are Amazon Prime members, making the transition of ownership relatively smooth, as there is a huge demographic overlap. Overall, Bezos' extremely pricey grocery store chains have thus far proved to do him some good. However, it'll be a while longer before we see the effects of healthy eating on his overall wealth. In addition to being Bill Gates' neighbor and owning the biggest home in DC, Bezos just had to get his hands on some New York real estate as well. He spent $80 million on 3 luxurious apartments in the Big Apple and seems very satisfied with his purchase. After the divorce with Mackenzie, Jeff Bezos decided to purchase the 3-story penthouse, as well as the 2 units under them for convenience. Currently, Bezos owns about 7 homes sprawled all over the country, which, coupled with his private jet, guarantees that he will always have a home to stay at in the go. Bezos Day One Fund, $2 billion philanthropy. Jeff Bezos, an active philanthropist in addition to his position as CEO of Amazon, has started a fund with $2 billion of his insane wealth. He has currently used the fund to build preschools in low-income communities, stressing the importance of education in early childhood. In addition to creating access to education, Bezos also plans to use the funds in order to help the homeless in the United States. Although this large fund doesn't have the glamour of a private jet, it's easily the most thoughtful thing Bezos has ever bought. Generations of school children will have him to thank for their education. So, thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe us.